What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Turbo today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? Here we are on the 14th day of June. After some incredible aftermath to the downside, a slightly lower low, a little bit of a fake out, dare I say, a little shakeout across the board here. You're looking all right, man. You're looking pretty damn good. I stand by it with the daily RSI that you've broken out of your downtrend. You're just recovering, finding support just below the 40, whatever. Sometimes you go to the 35, that's okay. And in fact, I wonder, does Turbo like its 35? Is this something that we see most of the time? Let's see. I mean, as resistance, twice there, support there before, yeah, support, right over here, a little bit above, a little bit below. Right there, yeah, you actually, look at that, yeah. You do. You actually do seem to like this exact area to bounce from on your RSI. So that's nice to see while breaking out of your downtrend in the daily RSI, a downtrend that you've been in since April 23rd. That's encouraging stuff, you guys. That's actually very encouraging stuff. The whole damn market shook out, faked out a lot of people yesterday over the past few days, right? We maintain our bullish posturing, right? That doesn't mean that there wasn't doubt. That doesn't mean that there wasn't some kind of concern. Even now, Bitcoin could still go lower. We accept it as a possibility, but we maintain our bullish posturing until we see enough evidence in the charts to suggest otherwise. We haven't seen it yet. Just like Turbo here. You got a lower low, and that sucks, especially if you're expecting that to be the low. I called for that to be the low. I was wrong. Whatever. But it's not that big of a deal. This doesn't change anything else. It doesn't change the bullish narrative. It just changes the fact that that's not the low. That's it. If we look at this from a low to a high on our relative low here, back on April 7th to the high right there, low to high. Should I take that high or should I take this high? I feel like this is the high I should take. Anyways, double bottom off the 382. It's not so common, but it happens. You double topped on the 236 there, so here we are. Boom, probably going to rip through. If we can get back above the 236, which is at 0045363, if you can get above there, really just get above this daily high, that would very much solidify this as a low. And not only that, it solidifies the idea that we are immediately going to break out of this and move up higher. Now, is this a bull flag? Is it not a bull flag? I don't know. On a daily time frame, kind of. It kind of looks like one. Like, realistically, it actually does kind of look like one, but at the same time, not really. 3-day time frame, it looks more like one. Weekly time frame, it looks like a bull flag. It definitely does. So let's run with it as a bull flag. Let's assume that it's a bull flag. Low to high, bull flag, measure move would put us, let's see, somewhere at about 1.67 cents, right at new all-time highs, okay? If we're taking this from a high to a low, do any fibs line up with that? That's just above the 2272. Does Turbo like its 2272? I think it does, doesn't it? Maybe I'm thinking of another coin. Let's just see here real quick. Hold on. High to low. Here, you went to your... Whoa. We don't want that. No. Went just above your golden ratio, right to your 1886. You didn't respect the 2272 at all. You just went all the way up. You found support at the 2618, though. That might be good to know. Let's get familiar. Let's get familiar for a second. We'll take a walk through time and see what we come up with here. We got the high to low there. Let's take this high to low as well. High to low right here. 1414. All the way up to that 2618. Showing significance on the 2618 and the 1886. Both as resistance and support. Good to see. And you found resistance at that 1414. Something to note there. Let's just see. High to low. High to low. 2618, man. You really like that, don't you? 1618, you found support at that too. That 2618 seems to be a thing, huh? Seems to be a thing for you, Turbo. High to low. 1272, that was a very small. That should have been the sign right there. Weakest extension you've ever seen. You're topping off. You're moving down. That should have been a sign right there. Okay. Wow. 2618. Isn't it funny that the measure move we have is actually just shy of that 2618? And I have a running theory across the board for crypto right now. My running theory is that this move that we had down from December 9th, December, November, October, January, whatever month it was that your various crypto found its high back in 2024, the very beginning of 2025, to the low that we had in April 7th, that week there. My theory, I've had a running theory for a bunch of different cryptos across the space, that the move up that we saw, the first move that we saw to break that downtrend, because a lot of cryptos have broken their downtrend, and now they're just consolidating. I think that the second move will be bigger. If we adhere to that with Turbo, and you put the measure move on here, the measure move is effectively, it is literally the exact same measurement as this first move. If we're expecting a stronger move, but something similar to this, 2618, man. right there. And the measure move, it's not a precise thing. You can find resistance just below, you can find resistance just above, maybe you go right there, but something around 1.844 cents, yeah, I think that's your next target destination, Turbo. You're going to see some crazy growth, man. How long is it going to take? I don't know. That's about a 400% move, right? 420% move, 440% move, something like that. It could happen. It could. I don't think it will. It could happen by the end of the month. I think more so it's probably going to be between now and like the first week of July, maybe the second week of July. I think that you will push higher. I absolutely do. Overall, between now and the end of July, I would assume that Turbo is at least up about 8x at 2.7 cents there at the 1272. That's where he topped off last time, was the 1272. Maybe that's where he topped off this time. The highest that I could see you going probably be just above the 1414. To make it all the way up to 3.9 cents at this point, we would probably have to be at 1.8 cents by the end of this month. If you want to see that kind of growth, you got to see some serious headway. If we're not at new all-time highs, then I don't think this is something that we should consider for July. Something at about 2.7 cents, 2.8 cents sounds about right to me. Maybe just below there, but something on the lines of about an 8x from here or more is what I would expect. I mean, there's just no... I don't think that you'll stop at a 5x from here. Right? I personally don't. Oh, that's not from here. I'm sorry, guys. From here, it's actually at 4.6x. Sorry. So the maximum potential, my bad. The maximum potential would be about probably like a 10x. Minimum expectation is a 7x. Pessimistic expectation is like a 4.6x, but I don't think that we stop there, man. I really do. I think 2.7 cents or higher is where we're going to go, okay? Between now and the end of July. Let's validate and see if we're moving up, okay? I got a little bit ahead of myself talking about the long-term stuff. Let's get to the short-term stuff, okay? 1 hour time frame here. And we'll look at this through Coinbase because we're looking at the short-term stuff, so Coinbase actually has enough data. I like using Coinbase because it has volume, right? It's the second biggest exchange in the world for crypto. Makes sense to use it. Binance also has it. Binance is the biggest exchange. We could use Binance, but I'm in America, damn it. So I use the American exchange. But Binance could be useful as well. Let's see. Is the volume similar? Similar, different, but yeah, similar. Binance might be more reliable. This is a nice move up. You're just slowly but steadily moving up. You took that bear flag look and just reversed it entirely, making it a very, very, very tenacious bullish move up. Stuff like this is awesome, man. You're just like keeping the bears on by like the thread, right? Like just right on the edge of their seat, thinking that we're going to go down. But as time goes on, slowly but surely, their hopes are whittled away. And now they're desperate, man. Any kind of move down will validate them. They'll think that, aha, I was right. And then boom, then we rip, right? It's just a little standard volatility. Something like this. I bet the bears are real excited for that. Looking good. You've reversed this. I mean, you've eaten up that whole move down already. Not the whole move down, but just that last big part right there. A lot of volume coming in here on the largest exchange. You're getting overbought on the 1 hour right now. 1 minute, 50 seconds left. That is a pretty big wick, but I'm not worried about it. I mean, you had a big wick here. You went down a little bit, but then you went up right afterwards, right? 3 hours, 7 hours later, you were all the way up here. So I'm not worried about this at all. Maybe you come down a little bit and find support at the exact same area that you've been finding support for the last day. That's not a big deal. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame on that note and see what happens. Yeah, double top on the 15-minute. Okay, so yeah, you probably do. You probably do come down. I bet by the time most of you guys watch this, we're at 0039 right now. You'll be at 00385 or lower, something like that. Even if you break out of this, understand, guys, even if you break out of this trend and you go lower, I know I didn't draw the straightest line, but just pretend that I did. If you break out of this trend and you go lower, it's not a big deal. Whatever, who cares? Then what you're going to see, instead of respecting this trend, you're going to come back to the 382, the 236, whatever, and then you'll bounce and continue higher. It's really not that big of a deal. 1 hour looks super bullish. You just got overbought. Let's see if it can persist. Let's see if you can get more 1 hour time frames to close in the overboughts and continue. Because if you can, you might have a really good day today. For a Saturday, that's not bad. 4 hour time frame, looking at the 4 hour RSI. Got in there, got out of there. Nice recovery afterwards. Overall, you do have a lower low in the RSI here compared to that low, with a lower low in the price there as well. It's kind of like a double bottom, though. It really is kind of like a double bottom. It's not bullish divergence, but it's definitely nice. The last time that you found support here, you had a nice reaction. The time before that, you had a nice reaction. I think this reaction might be the nicest, right? Third time's the charm, right? 1, 2, third time's the charm. We're looking to get above this area here. If we're looking at this from a high to a low, just above the 382, it might make sense that you find some turbulence here. Do not get upset if you're at 0039 right now and you see this thing go back to 0037, it's okay if it does. It's really not a big deal. It's actually pretty standard. Overall, I would expect that you're at 0041, 0042, maybe by the end of today. I mean, I would think by the end of today, if not higher, honestly. This is setting up for a V-shaped recovery, honestly. I mean, hell, you might be way higher than that by the end of the day. We don't know. We'll see. But the ultimate goal, I guess, would be to get this 4-hour time frame above the 50 on the RSI. If you can do that, that would also promote some very strong results in your price as well. And just keep up the volume. As you're moving up higher, keep up the volume. You want more volume to come in, all that good stuff, right? Looking at this here, daily time frame, no bullish divergence at the moment. But overall, I'm not scared about this. I don't know how to. I was about to say I'm not a fan, so then I changed my word and I said I'm not scared because I am a fan of this. I don't know why my brain glitched right there. I'm a fan of this. I think it's good overall because deep in the overbought zone, not deep in the oversold zone. You rejected it. Bouncing off the 40 area, higher lows, whatever. You found a little turbulence here. Who cares? You broke out of your downtrend. Yes? You broke out of your downtrend in the RSI. If you got a lower high straight line all the way down, you actually back tested that trend line for support. You're going to rip to the upside, man. That's what the expectation is here. So rip you will. I don't know if it's going to be like this. I don't think like 3 days from now you're going to be at new highs, relatively speaking, but you're probably going to do something like this over the next week. Probably do something like this, right? Work your way back up here, and then going into the end of the month, you'll start to see some growth happen. Where's the next target to consider? Where should we? What should you consider by the end of the month? Let's see. Golden ratio. Nice, not bad. 786, 886. I would think you're at least at 1.1 cents, if not higher. Okay. But we're looking for that like 1.72 cent area by the end of the month. Yeah, hopefully we get that by the end of the month. But something in that zone. I do think you're gonna see some higher prices. This next week is all about breaking out of this bull flag. The following week to end the month will be all about continuation after that. And hopefully, as Turbo does, it'll be some immaculate continuation. I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. All right. Bye bye.